Yes. Okay. Was born in Evanston, raised in Chicago, attended Wendy Young High School. She is now currently at Jane Addams School of Social Work. I want to bring on our intern, one of our special interns in this past 8 months, Margaret Smith. Welcome to StreetWise StreetScene. How you doing, Margaret?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for having
And
me.
you know what? I'm very glad to have you on the show. I've been waiting for this show, ever since you guys came, because I believe, this is the best group of interns that we had. And we've had some very good interns at Streetwise, to help us, help our vendors to help themselves. Along with Sarah Brown, our Director of Social Services, we have a group of interns that come in periodically to assist her in helping our vendors. And you guys have been around for, how long were you all interning?
Well, we started in September, so since then we went from then until May.
So you're going to have a real good perspective, interesting perspective of Streetwise because you're born in Evanston.
Yeah, I was born in Evanston but raised in Chicago.
And Whitney Young, big shout out to Whitney Young.
Yeah.
All the alumni and current Whitney Young, people going to school, stay in school, get that diploma, right?
Definitely.
Now, what did you like best about interning at Streetwise?
I just really liked getting to know the vendors and getting to know the diversity of the vendor force. And probably the biggest way that I got to do that was through group work. We had a current events group that we did weekly, and the other interns and I switched off doing that. So there were, I guess, 2 months that I was leading the current events group myself, and it was just a really good way to get to know the vendors on a personal level because direct social services is really good for that. But when you're interacting with the vendors in a group setting and you're sharing your opinions with them and kind of having a back and forth in a conversation style, it's a little bit different.
But before you guys started that group, you did orientation because we require all the interns to take orientation. Mm-hmm. And what was your view after the orientation? Because you're from Chicago, and we all talk about stereotypes, and the vendors who do well are the ones who do the opposite of those stereotypes. So I know you probably came in with a whole different view. After that orientation, what was the feeling like?
The feeling that I had was I was totally intimidated. Just the idea of having to go out there and sell the magazines and put myself out there. It's not something for everyone. It takes a lot of hard work. It's totally a business thing. Mm-hmm. It's totally just being an entrepreneur. And after I went through the orientation, I was just like, man, I don't know if I could do this. This is tough.
So you know what it's like when the vendors come in, their first interaction with the organization, going through the orientation, and going out in the streets. Mm-hmm. You guys were there for a while. You made some serious accomplishments. What do you feel was some of the major accomplishments that you made as an intern?
One thing that the other interns and I really did well, I think, was we pushed hard to have a vendor task group, which is basically a way for the vendors to come together and identify some goals that they would like to achieve and decide how they want to do it. And it's really just an opportunity for them to get together and achieve something together. And so we would be there for facilitation purposes, but it's really just about the vendors and creating a participatory role for them within the organization.
And then having a voice and being able to express their voice. And I think that was much needed. And you guys saw that. I mean, nobody brought it to you. You guys saw that, they need a voice. And, I want to really, commend you guys for putting that group together because since you all left, they have continued to have that group. So they will have a voice. And if it wasn't for you guys, that wouldn't have happened. How will the experience that you've gained at Streetwise help you in your professional and personal life?
Well, just on a really basic level, I got a lot of experience doing direct service and doing group work and working as a member of a really collaborative team. And all of those things are going to carry forward in my professional life as a social worker.
So that's what you want to do. You want to be a social worker, right?
Yes.
And I think you make a very good social worker. You know, you're very strong, you're very open-minded, and you know, you have an opinion, and you care, and you're concerned about people. And those are strong traits that one has to have as far as working in a social worker. Being a social worker, what will be your favorite memory of StreetWise, rather than myself? And I'm just joking.
Well, probably my favorite memory was when the other interns and I came to the StreetWise vendors at their vendor meeting and proposed the idea of doing the task group. And we were a little bit nervous about how they would react to it and whether they would be confused or whether they just wouldn't be into it. But they totally were, and they had a lot of really, really great ideas, and it was just really inspiring. So.
Okay, well, you know what? We had a great time, you know, working with you. I learned a lot from you guys. I'm sure your perception changed, and I'm sure that you're going to be continue to educate people about the organization, because I know you had views before you came to StreetWise, and now you have totally different views. And, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing you come back and visit us, and don't be a stranger, okay?
Definitely.
All right, Chicago, there you have it. Margaret Smith, one of our interns that worked with us to help our vendors achieve self-sufficiency. And I'm going to get you back on the show. You let me know your progress when you get your job as a social worker.
Great,
all right?
great.
Okay, Chicago. My next guest, we have another guest, one of our interns. Okay. She was born in Reno, Nevada, raised in Michigan, attended Dexter High School, sociology major at and she's now at this Jane Addams School of Social Work. Welcome to StreetWise StreetScene, our show, Sarah Boulton. Welcome to the show, Sarah.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited to be here.
And I'm very happy to have you here. You know, all three of the interns that, you know, we work with, and you were one of them, we had a real good experience with you guys. You guys really, you know, made some progress. But what did you most learn about our vendor force? I mean, because you're from outside, you're from out of state. And what did you learn from the vendors?
I mean, I learned a lot. They're just getting to know the vendors on an individual basis and kind of learning their individual stories was just really interesting, because people come from, you know, a wide range of backgrounds and histories, and it was really great to kind of just get to know everyone individually.
So at Jane Addams School of Social Work, now, are you planning on what kind of profession are you going to be going into? A social worker also?
I'm going to be a social worker. I'm interested in doing medical social work, and I feel like I gained a lot of skills this year that I'll use.
And when I first met you guys, I told you, I said, there's never a dull moment in StreetWise. Was I right?
Absolutely. Yep.
And I know you learned a lot of things. And let's talk about your interactions with the different groups, you know, that you guys ran at StreetWise.
The current events group I really loved doing. It was a weekly group, and we'd read an article from the upcoming issue of StreetWise and discuss it, and we'd have really lively discussions and just listening to everyone's opinion. I always learned something new. And it was
you know, and that was a good group, because we talk to our vendors, we tell them to read the magazine, know your product, know what's in the magazine, and you guys helped them keep abreast of what was going on in that magazine. And a lot of them took that to heart, and they used it in their pitch and presentation in the streets, and it really helped their business. What was your, let's see, did you remember anything that you liked doing the most? What would be your favorite memory though?
Oh, a lot of great memories. I really enjoyed the holiday party. We did some trivia, and everyone was really into it, and it was a really great experience. I really felt like part of the StreetWise family.
And we got you guys in the magazine. I think my memory of you guys would be cooking and helping the vendors during Thanksgiving and preparing the food.
Yep.
Actually, you know, down there at Inspiration Cafe, thanks to them for giving us their whole facility where the interns served food to our vendors. That was an experience for you.
Yeah, that was really wonderful.
So you like the interaction with the vendors and doing the groups. So does your view, how does your view change? I mean, your perception of the vendors before you came to StreetWise compared to now?
I think some people make assumptions about StreetWise vendors, you know, their background or their current situation. And what I learned the most, I think, is just that it's very diverse and that you shouldn't make assumptions. Take a moment and talk to your local StreetWise vendor, and I think you'll learn a lot.
All right. Well, you know what? I want to thank you for coming on the show, Sarah. We're going to have you back. Do not be a stranger.
Yeah,
all right.
never.
And you'll be going back to Nevada, right?
No, I think I'll be staying here for a while,
right.
staying in Chicago.
All right. Okay. Well, my next guest, Chicago. Hey, she is the one that was in Nevada. All right. No, she was born in New Mexico. So we have a lot of people that they intern us out of state. New Mexico. She attended Santa Fe High School, double major, political science and Spanish at University of Mexico. I want to welcome to StreetWise StreetScene, Zoe Kolon. Zoe.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great. I'm very excited to
We
be
got you on the show. What an awesome name, Zoe. I always like that name, Zoe. You remind me of Lenny Kravitz's daughter. Now, you're from New Mexico, right?
I am, yes.
All right. So, what are the things about Chicago weather that you like and not like?
I don't like the winter. I'm not enjoying the cold weather. But the summers make up for it, and everything else that goes on in the city, and there's so much to do and so many different people, and it's really diverse. So, makes up for the cold weather.
So you have a double major.
Yes.
Now, and why Spanish though?
I really like languages. I learned French first, and so living in New Mexico, there's a big Spanish-speaking population. So I thought Spanish would be really useful, just in general, and then also in my career.
And in political science, So did you be working on any campaigns? And let's talk about those choices of majoring in political science.
Yeah. I mean, when I started thinking about what I should major in, I really like politics, and I find it really relevant and interesting and important to be up to date about. And so I decided to major in political science, and yeah, I worked on quite a few campaigns in college. Don't know if I'll ever want to stay in politics, but it was a really good experience just working on the campaigns.
And you all had many accomplishments, I feel, at StreetWise and work with our vendors. Which of the accomplishments are you most proud of?
Yeah, well, like Margaret spoke about earlier, the task group was a really big accomplishment. Just seeing all the different StreetWise vendors and everyone coming together and really forming a community and having their voices heard, I thought that was really important, and I think that was really needed in StreetWise. And then I also really enjoyed learning about the social service department and really helping Sarah Brown grow the StreetWise social services. And we have so many different programs and things that we offer and things that we can help people with. So I thought that was a big accomplishment.
So it was a nice learning experience working with Sarah Brown?
Yeah, she is wonderful, and just has a wealth of knowledge, and so it's been a great experience working with everybody at StreetWise. But yeah.
So what profession are you planning on going into?
Well, I will be a social worker.
Okay, so we have a triple
well.
thread here. Social workers, okay. And we need many especially good social workers and people like yourself. So that's what we definitely need in this world today.
Yeah.
And so how do you feel that you can make a difference?
Oh, man. I feel like, this experience at StreetWise has really given me a lot of different tools and things I can use in a lot of different jobs. And so I think, I would love to stay in direct service and working one-on-one with people, or in agencies or organizations like StreetWise, and really working from the ground up and from the community, and start with a change there in that specific community. So hopefully people will teach me what I can do to help.
Well, I know you helped a lot of people at StreetWise, and they talk about you. They ask about all three of you guys. They still ask about you. So I don't want you to make yourself a stranger. Come back and visit us, and definitely God bless you guys, and much success to you guys in your professions and your future.
Thank you.
All right. I want to thank the interns for coming on.